Well, Illinois falls 95-94. Not ideal, obviously. Put your thoughts in the comments and I'll give you some feedback and talk. But yeah, not ideal. Should never lost that game. You can score a ton of points, but if you can't stop anybody, then who cares? Um, I'm not saying all hope is lost, obviously, but because that would be dramatic. But it's not ideal. I'm sure many of you feel the same way. So let me know your thoughts. I'll get to as many as I can. Um, again, Illinois falls 95-94 in overtime, third overtime loss this season. I guess a positive you could say is that this team uh, doesn't get blown out. If you're going to take a positive from it, let's just go through some of these stats. Merck was terrible. There's no other way to put it. Jake Davis was decent. He was good in the first half. Did not make any plays in the second half. Tommy was not great. And you're used to Tommy making some big threes, but he just wasn't there at the end of the game. Defensively, nobody was good. I mean, this is the first game that everybody's healthy. Kylan should be able to stop the ball, stop Dent, but that didn't happen at all. Keaton had an off night. It felt like a lot of Keaton shots that normally go in didn't. I mean, he made the tip in at the end of the game that you needed, but yeah, man. A couple of the threes he took were just bad. And Keaton's one of those players. I mean, he's been amazing. He's the best freshman at Illinois of all time. So you really you can only say so much about him, but just some of those shots he was taking, just at some point, maybe just like feed somebody else. I mean, 5 for 15 is not good. I know he's Keaton. He's been amazing. And it's like, it's a frustrating game, but at some point, just, you don't need to take a 40-foot three. I'll get back to the stats. The block at the end of the game was the block was clean. That was a terrible call. One of the two times, and it felt like the whole game that we got to stop was a clean block, and they took it away from us by calling a foul. I think on Big Z or Ben, I can't remember, but you just can't miss a call like that in that big of a game. And I'm not taking any pressure off of Illinois because you absolutely should not have been in that position. That's just embarrassing to be up that much and to lose like that. But that still was a clean block. And Z grabbed the board. Yeah. So again, you shouldn't be in that position, but that was a terrible call. That was a clean block. Kylan was off. Kylan's been settling from three too much recently. I mean, he was 2 for 4 on the night, so you can only be from 3, so you can only be so upset. But and I would like to say that Kylan getting hurt and being gone for a while was like a part of the reason why Donovan Dent went off, but Kylan couldn't stop him either. Ben was huge. I mean, 5 for 10 from 3. He was the reason he were up so big in the first half, and then he hit that late 3 that was super, super clutch. Huge block late in the game. Yeah, this team, they looked like the team that had played like 10 games in 13 or 14 days or whatever it was. That's probably dramatic. I think it was like 5 or 6 games in 13 days. But I don't understand like how every shot in the second half it felt like was short. Andre, not a good day from Andre. 1 for 5, 0 for 3 from 3, missed 3 free throws. 25 from 31 from the free throw line is not terrible overall, but it felt like a few of those were big. Andre was just not good. Big Z actually played pretty well. 11 points, 3 rebounds, couple blocks, and That was not a foul on him. That was ridiculous. I don't know who that foul was on at the end of the game, but Bilodeau was great. I mean, UCLA couldn't miss. Donovan Dent had 15 assists. Getting worked by I'm just sick of getting worked by guards. It feels I think that's a big frustrating piece, right? Because I mean, Nebraska earlier this season worked you, and you were fully healthy, and then you felt like, okay, Braden Smith went off, but Kylan didn't play, and then you were like, oh, Jeremy Fears went off, but Kylan didn't play, and then tonight Donovan Dent goes crazy, but Kylan played, so that kind of goes out the window. Yeah, Sean's right. The block at the end of the game, I think, was clean. It shouldn't have been a foul, but should have never been in that position. I agree, Mike. There's something to this because Keaton, the whole team was playing well, and then Keaton fell, and it looked like he dislocated his arm or something crazy. But he was fine, thankfully. But that was really when UCLA took off. And it's interesting though, because Keaton's not your defensive stopper, right? And you just all of a sudden couldn't get a stop. So I do think that was a big moment in the game. Yeah. So Bilodeau was great. Donovan Dent was great. Sky Clark unfortunately hit a couple big shots. Perry was like amazing all of a sudden. Merkovich, I don't know why you're fouling at the end of the first half. I know that was like a stupid thing, but you should have been up 10 at halftime. You're only up 7. Like, just don't, if there's 1 second, and I haven't even gotten to the last play of the game. The fact that Gainey or whatever from Tennessee last year, I'm going to look it up. I mean, somebody can comment and tell me. I think his name was Gainey from Tennessee. Jordan Gainey last year, the fact that he goes crazy and goes coast to coast on you in like 3 seconds or something, and then does it again. I mean, I know Brad's not on the court. He's not, he's not hitting shots and getting stops and stuff like that, but dude, you gotta, there's 4 seconds left. Pressure him at some point. 4 seconds is a ton of time. Make him take a second or two in the backcourt. And yeah, so the final drive was embarrassing. I mean, I'd almost rather him get foul him, make him earn it from the free throw line than give him a free shot. Yeah, I don't know. It's bad. I'm not it's not like everything. Obviously, not all hope is lost. That's dramatic, but that's a bad loss. You had no business losing. Your first healthy loss since Nebraska. I think that's where I'm at. That's why I'm frustrated. Patty says, live by the 3, die by the 3. We die by the 3 tonight, especially staying half. Miss free throws are due. Yeah, I mean, that's the interesting thing. Like against Indiana, right? You shot terribly from 3 and you still killed them. This game, you were amazing in the first half from 3, and then you couldn't hit anything. If just a few of those go in, we have a different. I mean, we win in regulation, but it's been interesting that it seems like this team, there's not a ton of in the middle. It's oh my gosh, 50% from 3, or oh my gosh, they can't hit anything. So the second half, that was pretty alarming. Nobody has swept. I will say UCLA has only lost 1 game at home this year, and it was to Indiana in overtime. So there's a little bit you can take from that. I mean, Purdue went and lost out there. I don't know how good Purdue really is. But anyways, yeah, you shot terribly in the second half. A few big missed free throws for sure. It does feel like a lot of times when we miss free throws, it's when they're really crucial. Steve, Illinois defense, the only thing that keeps them from being a Final Four team. Yeah, that's true. It feels like that's been true, right? It seems like that's what Brad, and it's easy to say this now after a loss, but it feels like for some reason that's the eggs that Brad's put all his into all this basket, right? His offense. And it's been multiple years now where we can't stop anybody, it feels like. And yeah, I mean, I would have to imagine UCLA is not an amazing shooting team or like a top 5 offense or something crazy like that. Like Michigan is gonna walk all over you on Friday if you play like that. Um, I don't like that Michigan lost either because them coming off a loss is not ideal. Also, Eric Daly. Let's see. This dude on the season is 27% from 3, and I think he went 3 for 6 tonight. But still, you got to get out and guard him. There's just too many times. Where you leave guys wide open from 3. Like, yeah, I get that they're shooting 20% on the year, 25% on the year, but they're Division I athletes. Like, if they are left open that many times, they're bound to hit one. I do agree, Jeremy, that it is. I mean, it feels like UCLA kind of got lucky in the sense that every single one of our players decided to go super cold. And I imagine that won't happen a lot. Oh my gosh, I still can't believe that you let him go coast to coast. Let's see here. I mean, there was no pressure on him whatsoever. Yeah, that was bad. I don't know how you don't pressure more than that. Every upcoming game, the opposition will take to the hoops. Party to Wisconsin to the Yeah, it's interesting. Like Z and Tommy are big, and Z is a great shot blocker, but it still feels like a lot of times if we're not getting blocks, teams are getting like right into the paint and getting into us. Also frustrating is that we got a lot of free throws, but it feels like we could have drove more. Like we were settling for threes a lot of time. If you're just joining us, Champaign Room recap. I'm Isaac. I probably should have said that a while ago. Just kind of here venting and just kind of frustrated because you should not have lost that game. Michigan up next. Tickets are $332. That's not cheap. I will not be there. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's easy to say, oh, this is Brad's fault, but I go back and forth. Like, I'm not a basketball coach. I think I know the game somewhat, but like, how do you not? There's 4 seconds left. You think you literally have to get the ball and sprint from the baseline to baseline to be able to make it to the basket in 4 seconds. And that's literally what happened. I don't know how you don't like Keaton step up and get a little bit closer to him. Easy for me to say. I didn't play Division I basketball. It just feels like, but again, there was a ton of opportunities to win that game. You didn't take advantage of it. So, that's frustrating. Like defense when UCLA drove the floor 4.9 seconds. That was the game we choked. Yeah, I haven't even really got to the fact that you were up 33-10. I'm sitting there watching the game and I'm like, oh, I'm about to start tuning out a little bit because this is going to turn into another UCL or another USC game. The fact you were up 33-10 and blew that instantly. It's not like UCLA took the rest of the game to come back. Like you blew that pretty quick in basketball minutes. We were too slow on defense all year long. Yeah, it does feel like that, Tim. It feels a little bit like we have sacrificed skill and shooting for quickness, athleticism, all that fun stuff. if you score over 90, that should be enough to win. Yeah, I mean, it went to overtime, so like you had to get to overtime to 90. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure the offensive numbers on this game are still great. I'm sure you scored 93. The defense is just bad. Like that's the worst defense you've had healthy in a long time. I mean, that's the first healthy loss you've had in a long time. Why don't we take advantage of having 2 7-footers? We should be dominating. Yeah, you would think would be better inside. Again, late in that game a couple times, like the few times we get stops and we can't get offensive rebounds. I mean, now I do know that Z especially contests a lot of shots, and keeps teams from coming into the paint. But yeah, we rarely see post moves and stuff. Tommy at the beginning of overtime went to the post, but you don't see that very often. It only needs to happen once in the tournament. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this game doesn't make me feel better about March. I will say I don't know if it makes me feel worse. It's all about matchups, which I understand. Way more often than not, you've been able to shoot well and get some stops and things like that. So the fact that it came back to bite you now, the fact that you lost like that, I don't know, like you still are probably the number one offense by far, I'm gonna imagine. Um, and I would hope the defense can be a little bit better. I think the also frustrating thing too is that it's not like that was an intimidating environment. Like you see it, like there was a ton of Illinois fans there. Um, yeah, let's just hope we get good matchups and we don't have a defensive performance like that in the tournament. I don't know who I want to see at this point. Michigan lost. I don't want to play Michigan. Duke looked really good tonight. Yeah, you were the 7th overall seed, so I assume this puts a ding on your resume, but not a ton. I mean, it's a quad one loss. And another thing, UCLA needed this win, like to really get into the tournament. So that's the other thing. Nobody has swept the LA series this year. 2 ball hitters go with it goes from 23 to 10. Again, we have 2. Yeah, I mean, when Keaton and Kylan are not, especially Keaton, when Keaton is not dominating like the ball in the possession, things can get bad. But again, that stretch felt less about offense. I mean, you held them to 10 points in 10 minutes of game play, pretty much. Like that's insane. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened at the 10-minute timeout or whatever Mick Cronin did, but they just went insane. Maybe UCLA was just still hungover from whatever happened in Michigan last week, but yeah, not ideal. 0-5s in games decided by 4 points or less. Underwood's Achilles heel has been, is, and will continue to be game adjustments, execution, and close game. If I had to guess, have we not won a game by less than 4 points? Or are you just saying Texas Tech was 81-77? UConn feels like a long time ago. That was not ideal. Yeah, I mean, all your losses have been close. Man, you should have beat Wisconsin. So that is a good thing that you haven't lost really bad. Yeah, this was frustrating. I don't know. There's not a ton of great things about it. You should have won. Another game you should have won. There hasn't been many games where it's like, oh, you definitely should have won, but this is one of them. Yeah. 22-6. The Big Ten's gone, but the Big Ten was probably already gone. So yeah, Keaton was still your leading scorer with 19. I mean, I think that's gonna definitely be a storyline. Merkovich was really bad, and he was so good against Indiana, and good against USC. I feel like everybody was good against USC. Um, yeah, not ideal. Not ideal. Let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts about the game. Um, we can keep chatting for a few more minutes. How do you lose the the ball concept? I don't know. We've been trying to figure that out, Tim. I don't understand. I get if there's like 20, there's like 15 seconds left, right? You're like, get back, get in position. But yeah, I still don't understand. Like, just get back and get into like a zone or something crazy. Like, just that is the last thing you can do is let him go coast to coast. I mean, there's not many guys that can sprint baseline to baseline with the basketball in less than 5 seconds. So mad about this game result. Yeah, it's like I don't know how much it's going to affect you in the tournament because UCLA is decent. I mean, it's a quad one loss, but yeah, I know. No inbound pressure. Beautiful coaching when you're. Yeah, I know. And Tim, this has happened a handful of times this year. I think this happened against Wisconsin too, where it's like you were in the bonus the last like 12 minutes of the game and you just kept shooting threes. Now, this team is amazing at shooting threes. So it's hard to tell them stop shooting. But yeah, when you're in the bonus and you shoot free throws pretty well as a team, keep driving. Keep driving. Man, I'm gonna just run through. Let's go through the play-by-play here to end the game. Man, you started off so well. Let's see where things started to go terribly. We only had to hear like 600 times on the broadcast too that we blew a 33-10 lead. So Booker finally, you had a 98% win percentage, whatever the heck that means. Booker hits a shot 33-12, 33-14, 30. You hit a shot. Okay, whatever. Let's go to the end of the game. You just can't get a stop to save your life anywhere in here. Just slowly getting worse and worse. How many free throws? Andre missed a couple bad free throws. I would say Ben is like the star of Illinois overall. I mean, he airballed a 3 in overtime. That was not ideal, but so let's see. 86-86. 19 seconds left in the game. Ended the second. Oh yeah, so 86-86. Dent misses the 3, which was pretty open. Luckily, he's just a terrible 3-point shooter. Tommy scores right away. Bilodeau hits a 3. Bilodeau was great. Keaton Wadler. Yeah, that was just a bad. Keaton was just not good besides that putback at the end of the game. Z's been terrible from 3. Foul on Sky Clark. Sky Clark came out. That's right. Kylan got fouled, made 2. You go up 1. Donovan Dent was crazy. He had some crazy assists. I'm pretty sure this was the assist where he couldn't even see Booker behind him, and he just turns around and throws it at him. And then Booker gets a dunk. I think Ben airballs, things starting to fall apart. A lot of subbing, a lot of missed shots. Ben missed another pretty open 3 from the corner, if I can remember. Tommy luckily makes both of them, 92-91. Man, you had the ball again. Keaton took that deep three, and the refs called over the backboard, which you never see. Um, uh, Donovan Dent missed the layup. Oh yeah, that was a nice block by Ben. Keaton missed the floater. UCLA gets the rebound. Timeout. UCLA foul on Ben. Perry makes his free throws. So you're down one. Keaton gets the putback with 4 seconds left. I mean, oh my gosh, this felt just like so similar to Michigan State. Like you just found ways to lose. And then Donovan Dent goes the whole freaking length of the court. That's just ridiculous. You just had no business losing. I mean, UCLA's good. They're not bad, but that was terrible. It's tough business. Get ready for Michigan on Friday. No excuses. Yeah, I think one of the worst things for me, and I mean, not that bad of a life if this is the worst part of my week. The fact that you have 6 days until Michigan, so you kind of got to like sit on this and be frustrated for 6 days is not fun. And Michigan's going to be not happy because they just lost on national TV. But I mean, beat Michigan. Who the heck cares about UCLA? So I don't understand. You don't trap Dent and get the ball. Yeah, Dent had been dominating you all game. He was literally the one person I would not want to have the ball. So that really didn't feel nice. Yeah, it is kind of. Oh, I can't type apparently. It's not ideal that this exact, and I talked about that a little bit ago, that this exact same thing happened last year against Tennessee. Be nice to be nice. Yeah, it's just so hard with Petrovic because like he's mostly there to like make plays on offense or like create some offense, but his defense is bad. But at the same time, everybody's defense is bad. So yeah, I guess at some point, whatever, throw him in there. And you definitely felt tired. Like I don't know, maybe putting in 1 or 2 minutes of Petra would have helped. Um, and I haven't looked. I'm sure Brad has said something not fun about things. Um, yeah, no, I know. We just kept checking threes. Yeah, I mean the 2023 team, the Terrence Shannon team, and Marcus Damas team lost to Penn State, who was terrible in February, and then went to the Elite Eight. So if you go far in March, who cares? Beat Michigan, who cares? Um, Kevin, I hope you're right. Let's see if anybody lets me know what Brad has said. Yeah, Donovan Dent is not a good shooter. Like Donovan Dent is not a good shooter. Just the last thing you can do is let him get to the paint. And I know this has been our problem all year, but I thought Kylan coming back would help that. And I'm sure Kylan helps. It just tonight, it didn't matter. Tonight, we still got cooked. Yeah. It's easy to say now. But I would like to think that Donovan Dent, he's a stud. I mean, he's a stud for sure. Yeah, literally let him shoot a three or foul him because he's only a 62% free throw shooter. Man, that's crazy. I would not have thought that. I don't know if this is true. I just seen a tweet right now. Illinois, when we give up 83 plus, is 0-5, which is believable. Yeah, the fact too that there was like 0.3 seconds left on the clock. Keaton was clutch. Keaton's been awesome. Here, I'm going to show this just so we can suffer in it real quick. Thank you for all who's watching. Keep commenting. Unfortunately, this is the Indiana shot from or the Tennessee shot from last year. Oh, that sucks. It really is like deja vu. Jordan Gainey is not who you want to be doing that. I will be shocked if they make it to the Sweet 16. Defense sucks. Yeah, the defense tonight especially was bad. The defense has been better, though. That's why it's weird. Like, I wouldn't have thought that it was that bad. Again, one positive you could say is that you don't get blown out. Like, you only lose close games. Stand here a few minutes longer if anybody wants to comment. Looks like people are jumping off. I don't blame you. It's been painful. It's been bad. But let's see what the Champaign room's got pulled up. Illinois left shell-shocked in historic collapse. What was the history? 21 bench points. Well, you're coming off a loss and Michigan's coming off a loss. So who is going to come off the loss better is the question. The Champaign room recap. Let's just put a comment in here. Sadness. Take a few more comments. Bring back Bruce Weber. That is an interesting take. That's the first take I've seen like that. That's for sure. I don't know if I would want Bruce Weber back. That feels like a summer conversation where we could sit and get frustrated about it for a while because took you to the Final Four, but kind of fell off from there. Yeah. I don't know. Get it out of his hands. Just get it out of Den's hands. That's not ideal. All right. Probably going to sign off here. Illinois loses 95-94 in overtime to UCLA. Let's see. Star of the game, I'm going to go with Donovan Dent, obviously. But if I had to choose one for Illinois, it's probably going to be Ben because if Ben doesn't hit those threes, you don't take the big lead in the first half. And then if Ben doesn't hit that three late, you never make it to overtime. So, and then the biggest stinker of the game is just going to be the defense. I don't even want to see the stats, but I'm sure UCLA went crazy. Still a lot of season left. There's 3 Big Ten regular season games left. Yeah, I mean, beat Michigan in this game will be easily forgotten, but glad nobody got hurt. That was a big positive of the game. Michigan does have to play Minnesota. I think Minnesota's best player or one of their best players just got hurt, so that's not ideal. Yeah, so it stings. It stings, but at this point, March is all that matters. Champaign room recap. Thanks for checking us out. ILL, we'll talk to you next week or at some point during the week. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. See you later.